representing Venezuela is Junice Dubin. She's undefeated. She's known as a finisher, but she's a big underdog tonight.
Junice Dubin with an overhand swing, but she still undefeated. Never seen a judge's scorecard, and you better believe Dana White exploded out of his chair for that one. Crazy knockouts we've ever seen on this show. You are a 13-1 dog. I love that shit. You might as well not even go sit in the back.
One of the most impressive knockouts I've ever seen. A huge underdog. A minute 13 of the very first round.
Dubin just sent a deadly warning to Dakota Ditcheva, and she didn't mince her words. The Venezuelan warrior has officially entered the conversation, making it clear that she isn't afraid of the PFL's Golden Girl. Junice Dubin holds a professional MMA record of 6 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest.
Great job of staying, keeping her back against the fence.
A big plum and a right hand. Dakota Ditcheva, right hand on the head of face.
But who exactly is Junice Dubin, and why has she suddenly become the biggest threat to Dakota Ditcheva's throne? Let's break it down. Born and raised in Venezuela, Junice Dubin's story isn't one of privilege, it's one of survival. While Dakota was dominating highlight reels in England, Dubin was grinding through regional circuits in South America, fighting for every opportunity. She's a multidiscipline powerhouse, a black belt in Taekwondo and Woo, a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and a national champion in both wrestling and BJJ. As if that weren't enough, she was also an international Taekwondo and Woo champion long before ever stepping into the cage.
Upset in the history of the Contender Series, you know what I mean? She almost didn't come. She has no money. She doesn't have $1 to her name right now. So the staff had to go grocery shopping for her, and then she comes in and does that. I mean, I tell you what, she ain't broke.
While many fighters chase hype, Junice built skills, and that's what makes her so dangerous. Before the UFC ever noticed her, Dubin ruled the 300 Sparta Championship in Peru, a brutal proving ground for South American talent. There, she showcased her trademark aggression, lightning-fast kicks, violent combinations, and unshakable confidence. Then came her shot at Dana White's Contender Series in September 2024. Nobody expected her to win, but Dubin shocked the world.
How dare you make me a 13-1 underdog? I don't know if she can grapple. I don't know if she can defend a takedown. Congratulations, you are in the UFC.
Junice Dubin. You know, coming to her name. Massive underdog. It was an epic KO. What were your thoughts when you saw that big overhand right?
I mean, Dana stood up before she even hit the canvas. He stood up the second she connected. Pretty sure Mick Maynard became a meme from the reaction. We haven't seen a reaction like that. It almost rivaled the commentary cam. I laughed because Dana said, I don't really know anything about you, but I love your story, I love your heart, and I love that she took how dare you make me a 13-1 underdog. And she proved everybody that is quite literally what this sport is made.
She went to war that night and walked away with a UFC contract in her hand. The Venezuelan underdog had just kicked open the UFC's door, but the fight game is cruel. On March 15, 2025, at UFC Fight Night, Victory vs. Dietz, Junice Dubin made her long-awaited UFC debut, and it ended in heartbreak. She was stopped in the first round by Carly Judas. Critics were quick to label her a one-hit wonder, but Junice took that loss and turned it into fuel. And that fire is now aimed directly at Dakota Ditcheva. In a recent statement, Junice Dubin didn't hold back. Staring straight into the camera, she said, Dakota Ditcheva may be undefeated, but I see through the hype. She called Dakota a dancer, not a fighter, and promised to show her what real pain feels like.
Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. In trouble. And that does it. First round finish, and Dakota Ditcheva silences.
It's the kind of challenge that shakes the foundation of a promotion because no one talks like this unless they truly mean it. Since the callout, Dakota Ditcheva has remained silent. No tweets, no interviews, nothing. Fans are divided. Some claim Dubin is chasing clout after her UFC loss, while others believe she's the most dangerous threat Dakota has ever faced, a striker with world-class technique and pure fury behind her. One thing's for sure, Dubin isn't backing down. And this warning wasn't a promo, it was a promise. 2 continents, 2 fighting worlds, 1 burning question: can Dakota Ditcheva survive unease Dubin's fire? Dubin's message echoes louder than ever: your hype ends when you face me. If these two ever meet inside the cage, we could be witnessing the birth of one of the greatest rivalries in women's MMA history. So, who you got, the British Queen or the Venezuelan Viper? Let me know in the comments below.
From right now, it might be going down. Oh, she's happening. Oh, she got a behind the back tomorrow. That's more. Oh, is this going to be enough? Belamir making it very rough inside. Notice Calderon's left arm, and she flinched behind her back. Wrestlers are doing this so they can get pinned. Man, she almost, yeah. She's about to tap again. Oh, there it is. Man, wow. If we did a different angle, you have to have a little eye for the game to see it happen. But
a chicken wing in professional MMA, that's not a typo. Belamir, daughter of UFC legend Frank Mir, just ended a pro fight with a literal wrestling hold. And it wasn't just any win, it was violent, dominant, and has the MMA world asking, is this girl the future of women's MMA, or just writing the Mir name? The truth is, she didn't just win, she humiliated her opponent with a move most fans haven't seen since high school wrestling. And trust me, Dana White is already watching. On July 27 in Houston, Texas, at Fury Challenger Series 14, 22-year-old Belamir stepped into the cage against Stephanie Calderon, a local fan favorite known for her striking. But within seconds, it was clear this wouldn't be a stand-up fight. Bella tagged her early with clean, precise punches, showed surprisingly sharp hands, then bam, hit a smooth takedown. What came next shocked everyone: a chicken wing. Not a kimura, not an armbar, a chicken wing. Calderon tapped at 3:58 of round 1, and the internet.
And then who wins? Who wins? Dakota versus
You really make me say that she's my favourite fighter, but come on.
favorite fighter, number 1.
Yeah, she is. She's always been my favourite fighter, Valentina, yeah.
All time.
Yeah, all time.
Have you ever told her this?
Like, she's just like an MMA athlete. Like,
yeah.
What can she not do? Like, she can grapple. If she needs to win by grappling, she can do it. She needs to strike, she can do it. Like, I mean, so many people thought she was going to get a belt taken off her by French girl, Manon
Fiorot.
She did quite well, yeah. People wrote her off with that, and look what she did. She always finds a way to win, I think. She's very...
Dakota effing Ditcheva, and she just called out the queen of violence herself, Valentina Shevchenko. Let's be real, everyone thought Dakota would jump ship to the UFC, undefeated, violent, marketable, British, the perfect Dana White signing. But instead, she re-signed with the PFL, all while throwing subtle shade at the UFC and keeping her options wide open.
Fight interview, you announced that you had re-signed with the PFL. Congratulations. Are you happy with how everything turned out?
Yeah, I'm happy, yeah. I am happy now in the end. It took a while. I mean, I fought last November, so I think it took a while for us to come to, you know, something that was right for the both of us, but I'm happy now, you know, just ensured my future for me and my family.
And now she's chasing the fight most UFC women won't even whisper about: Valentina Shevchenko, one of the most feared fighters in MMA history. This isn't just a crossover fight, it would be the first true PFL versus UFC women's super fight. But here's the truth the UFC won't say out loud: Dakota is a threat not just to Valentina, but to the entire flyweight division. Think about it, a young, undefeated, blonde striker with real knockout power, and she's not under UFC control.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say Bellator has had Hawaii events.
Bellator could put on a fucking fight in the parking lot. Dude, I can't even believe you just said that. PF Bellator, you know PF Bellator was here on Friday. Did anybody know that? You're the media guys. I didn't know till fucking Friday. They were selling tickets, buy two, get two free. I'm not busting on them. That's a fucking fact. They put out a memo, buy two, get two free. You're having a bad fucking week if those are the memos you're putting out.
Hey, Dana.
There were more people in my fucking green room tonight than there were at the fight.
Finally.
This wouldn't just be about belts, it would be about promotional pride. And that's exactly why the UFC is staying silent. Let's talk about Valentina. She's a legend, no debate, but she's not untouchable anymore. Alexa Grasso exposed the cracks, and Dakota? She's younger, hungrier, and unafraid to talk about it. Dakota's message is loud and clear: if Valentina's still on top when it happens, I'm in. That's not just a challenge, it's a warning, a threat, and maybe even a prophecy. Let's be honest, the UFC didn't want to lose Kayla Harrison, and now they're watching Dakota become the next breakout star, doing it without them. If Dakota versus Valentina actually happens and the UFC loses on its own turf, it's game over for the narrative that the UFC is the only elite league. And deep down, Dana White knows it. Social media has been on fire ever since Dakota said the words UFC champ versus PFL champ. Some fans claim she hasn't earned it. Others say Valentina would destroy her. But the R.